Muy buena gente, ¿cómo están? Estamos aquí en un nuevo episodio de Vampyr. Muy buena gente, hoy van a escuchar mi voz medio de aquí para allá porque la verdad no tengo voz. Así que vamos a continuar, dejamos el capítulo anterior en la extorsión de Whitechapel. Y no me acuerdo dónde lo habíamos dejado. Literalmente hace como 3 días que no grabo, así que no tengo ni la menor idea. Pero vamos a iniciar. Se me nota la voz medio tocada. Así que ya los hablamos. Ay, pero vamos a darle a esto. No voy a ir por ahí, solo el 9. Acá hay ratas. No quería agarrar la rata justamente. A ver, justo la rata no era lo que yo quería agarrar. Genial, hay cazadores por ahí también. Tengo 16 segundos. Tres, dos, uno. Me sirve para ir a por el más fuerte. No me vas a hacer daño. Este ya está muerto. Queda este. Le hago ahí un golpe más y está muerto. Y ahora este. Le hago así. Dos. Pumba. Voy para atrás. Mierda. Te guste o no te guste, me vas a dar tu sangre. No quería hacer eso exactamente, pero bueno. No queda nada más, ¿no? No. Pues vamos por aquí.
Whitechapel. This neighborhood is linked somehow to the kind Lady Ashbury's blackmail. First, let's find this Petrescu fellow.
Oh, mira, aquí hay un cofrecito. pasó
Are
aquí?
you all right?
The bastard hit the wall next to me. I don't even know if he meant to miss.
If you've been hurt, I can help you. I'm a doctor.
Name's Albert. Remember it. Now bugger off.
¿Le robó los medicamentos de ese hombre?
What happened? Did you really steal that man's medication?
Hey, I didn't do anything. It ain't me.
Medication and drugs are a rare commodity in East London. So you picked an easy target, didn't you?
Sod off, mister. You ain't got no clue what's going on here. Bastard was a soldier in the war, so now he's got the right to shoot me.
It's true. I'm not familiar with this part of town. Perhaps you could help me.
I said sod off. Go find yourself another guide.
Preguntas personales. No hay nada.
Do you
Enfermo.
know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? If you know anything about her, I'd appreciate it.
Never heard of her. She's pretty, I'll keep an eye out.
Pues no tanto, en verdad. A ver. Ah, no, hay otra. Acá, este. Ves, camina su veterano de guerra. Ok.
Goodbye, young man.
The wet boots will be proud of me.
What? Shooting a boy in the middle of the street. Not the best thing to do, wouldn't you say?
What? You saw what happened? Who are you?
I'm Dr. Reed, and I'd like to ask you a few questions, if you promise me to set your gun aside.
No. Look, I'm not a violent man. I'm Benjamin Palmer, doctor. And no one can help me. Not even you.
Su vida en Londres. Cuénteme sobre este lugar.
What can you tell me about this place?
Nothing to say, really. This is where I used to live, and it's where I live now.
Quiere decir que su vida solía ser
You
mejor.
mean you used to have a better life?
Yeah, I had a wife, a home, and a job. I even used to have a name. And now I'm just Ben. Ben the Tramp.
No tiene familia.
You don't have anywhere to go? No family that would welcome you?
Not since the death of my wife, Albert's mother. She was sick, you see. Long before the flu and all this shit.
Ok. ¿Puede contarme sus
Perhaps
problemas?
you could focus for a moment and tell me your troubles.
I'm sick, broke, and my son just stole my pills. Everything's coming up roses.
Preguntas personales. ¿Por qué le disparó a ese
Whatever
muchacho?
the boy did, I'm sure he didn't deserve a public execution.
I swear I didn't want to hit him. It's just that I'm sick in the head, you see, and the boy just frayed me last nerve.
Cuénteme sobre la guerra.
What is it, Benjamin? It was the war, wasn't it? Your nerves are shot, aren't they? I need some answers, Private. From one soldier to another.
The doctors called me a liar, a coward. Put me in a straitjacket, locked me up. Finally, they sent me back to the front lines with a handful of tablets.
Esos son métodos bárbaros.
It's a pity that doctors still practice such barbaric methods. It's a dishonor to our profession.
Now only the pills stop me thinking about this shit. To not hear the explosions. I'm even scared of the dark these days.
Benjamin necesita los medicamentos desde que volvió del frente. Ok. No tengo nada más, ¿verdad? No. Vamos a
You don't
preguntarle a esta
seem
chica
well,
Bacon.
Benjamin. Do you need any help?
I always feel ill, sir. It's like I'm never right.
Ok, se requiere tratamiento para la migraña. Ok. Lo veré más tarde. Estoy buscando a la
Do you
enfermera
know
de
Nurse
Crane.
Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? Have you heard anything?
It's funny, I've been searching for her too. I need some pills. But the woman is a phantom, if you ask me.
Really? And why is that?
Word is she ain't real. She's a cover for some doctor who runs an illegal dispensary for migrants.
Oh. Sabemos un poquito
A
más.
gun, alcohol, and a bad...
Ahora que lo pienso, a ver.
How are you?
I'm not your...
Eso ya está. Atrás. Esto ya está atrás. Vamos con
Do you
el
need
chequeo médico.
assistance?
Please. Feeling tired these days.
Administrar medicamentos.
There you go. Let's hope nobody steals it from you.
Very funny.
Tratamiento para la fatiga, perfecto. Acabamos de resolver
Goodbye, young
uno,
Will be proud of me.
que es este. Perfecto. Benjamin Palmer, y hay otro desconocido por ahí. Pero por acá hay algo. A ver. Acá hay ratas. Hay una señora acá. Y ese es Benjamin. Ok, vamos a hablar con la señora.
Good evening, miss.
Good evening, sir. Are you interested in a miraculous cure for this unknown and deadly epidemic?
Actually, I am.
Then you have come to the right place. The famous Swanborough cordial is all you need to help keep you in perfect health.
Oh, really? Why didn't I hear about it during my studies? I'm Jonathan Reed, by the way. Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Ah, my brother has spoken of your research, sir. I'm Loretta Swanborough, and it's always a pleasure to meet a fellow healer.
Su vida en Londres. ¿Alguna fiera local
Tell
intrigante?
me, who intrigues you most in Whitechapel?
The region itself is something to see, but I would say Camellia the mute florist who gives away her flowers.
¿Qué piensa de los
What do you
locales?
think of the locals?
Most of them are afraid or desperate. They all come to me eventually for my remedy.
¿En quién debe
Is
habitar?
there anyone I should avoid?
Cadogan Bates, without a doubt. The bloody bastard remorselessly exploits poor migrants as soon as they get here.
Ok, gracias, señorita Loretta. Preguntas personales. No podemos hacer ninguna. Ok. Estoy buscando a la enfermera Dorothy Crane.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? I'd like to know more about her.
I don't like to talk about competition.
Competition, you say?
Never met her, but it seems she provides some sort of medical care to the poor. The whole thing has to be some sort of scam, if you ask me.
Chequeos médicos.
You look ill, Miss Swanborough. I wonder if your concoction will do the trick.
I'm perfectly fine, thanks to my miraculous elixir. You, on the other hand, look pale and tired, Doctor.
Sí, tan pálido estoy. A ver. Me hace un poquito.
Goodbye, Miss Swan.
Sí, parece tan saludable.
Be the answer to all your problems. As long as you have the money.
Antes que nada quiero conocer a alguien más. Acá hay dos, perfecto.
No, please, I don't have your money.
Come on, Barrett, you know the game. You pay for peace of mind.
Can't you just look the other way this week, Joe?
Excuse me, sir. I have a few questions for you.
Another journalist? I didn't answer the first one, so piss off.
I'm not a journalist, I'm a doctor.
A doctor, you say? It's quite a rare breed in this part of town.
Really? But still, here I am. Dr. Jonathan Reed, at your service.
I'm Joe Peterson to some, but Colossus Joe to most. And I don't remember asking for your service, sir.
Me gustaría saber su vida en Londres. ¿Qué hace por aquí?
May I ask what you do around here?
I do whatever I want, and sometimes even more. Now sod off.
Acerca de la falta de
According
medicamentos.
to you, physicians are scarce in this part of town. Why is that?
Not familiar with this neighborhood, are you? I guess your fancy colleagues are too afraid of being stabbed in the back.
This part of town does have quite a reputation. Would you say it's justified?
Totally. Look at me, for instance. I always look my opponent in the eye before knocking him out.
Preguntas personales que no podemos hacer y vamos a buscar a la
Have you
enfermera
heard of a
Dorothy
nurse
Crane.
named Dorothy Crane? She's a colleague of mine and is supposed to live around here.
Dorothy Crane. Yeah, I know her. One of the few good souls who dare to help the sick around here.
Could you please tell me more about her?
She's a nice girl. Tries to help the migrants. I offered to give her a hand, but she said my reputation would attract too much attention.
A ver, revisión
Can I
médica.
offer you my medical expertise, Mr. Peterson?
The name is Colossus Joe. I don't get sick.
Todos se enferman, gente.
Goodbye, Mr.
No sé cómo el estúpido este. Y acá hay alguien más, a ver.
Welcome, sir. Please take a browse of my wares.
I am Dr. Reed. I would like to ask you a few questions, if you don't mind.
A doctor? Interesting. I'm Barrett Lewis. Usually I don't have time to waste with talk, but at this hour of the night I can hardly refuse.
Su vida en Londres. ¿Cómo van los negocios?
How is business around here?
Business? I have no business. Between this racket, theft, and customers getting scared, I'm losing money every day.
I see. Sounds like you blame someone in particular for your situation.
It's no secret Joe Peterson spends his time harassing merchants. But with me, he's trying to put me out of business once and for all.
A ver, John Pintonson. La situación de John ponen a Barry Lewis en una difícil situación económica. Ok. Lewis Barrett. Barrett está en una situación económica difícil por la extorsión de Joe. Advertido algo fuera de
As
lo
a
común.
merchant, you see Whitechapel every day. Have you noticed anything out of the ordinary recently?
Well, you mean besides the epidemic, the war, and all the usual crap? As long as I can remember, this part of town has been a bottomless pit, and no sign of the bottom yet.
La violencia está aumentando.
Violence is increasing in the borough.
Yeah. A few nights ago, some blokes jumped me. Came out of one of the condemned workshops. Fever, madness, something like that.
Where did this happen? Why did you go there?
In the closed workshops nearby. I worked there as an apprentice in better days. Now I only go to find trinkets or tools. Too bad I was mugged, though. There was good money in that little box of loot I lost.
Nueva investigación, baratijas y más. Perfecto. ¿Está herido?
No, but that's only because I ran like hell. Those men were raving lunatics, I tell you. Not even able to speak anymore, just screaming.
Oh. Vamos para atrás. Para atrás de nuevo. Y preguntas personales. No podemos hacer ninguna, ¿verdad? Estoy buscando a la enfermera Dorothy
Have you
Crane.
heard of a nurse called Dorothy Crane?
Nurse Crane? So the bitch really is a nurse, then? Always thought she was just some crafty foreigner, that one.
Es una excelente enfermera.
She's a nurse, and quite a good one. What did she do to gain such notoriety?
Dorothy Crane ain't even a real name. Something like Dorothea Craniu. Something like that. Came to England fleeing the war, I was told.
That doesn't explain why she irritates you so much.
Your precious Nurse Crane gives away medical supplies and prescriptions for free. I offered to sell it for a fair cut, but no. Miss Crane wanted to play the quiet saint.
Oh. Dorothy Crane. Dorothy regala medicamentos y remedios.
Goodbye for
Adiós.
now.
Oh, acá hay alguien más.
Don't be shy, handsome. What can Christina do for you?
I'm not looking for what you're selling, but I'd like to ask you a few questions, if I may. I'm a doctor, Dr. Reed.
All right then, but be quick, though I usually get paid when I open my mouth.
Su vida en Londres acerca de su salud.
Christina, have you been examined? The epidemic is spreading fast in London, and you could be exposed, or expose others.
I don't like doctors or hospitals, but I don't like you asking questions.
Considering your line of work, I assure you it is only a matter of time before you have health issues.
If it is going to happen, it will happen. Right now, I need money. That's what's important.
¿Qué hay de la salud de sus clientes?
You can put your own life in danger, that's your decision. But what about your clients? If you're contaminated, you will put them in danger too.
And you think that would worry me? If you knew the men I deal with, their health would not be what you'd worry about.
Bueno, le chupo un huevo, gente. Vamos para atrás, pregunta personal, supongo que ninguna. Ah, sí, una, cuénteme sobre usted.
Tell me about yourself.
Are you joking with me? People don't usually come to see me for conversation.
I have no interest in your work. I am, however, curious as to what led you into this career.
Short story. The war, exile, and England. This country is not especially welcoming. I've been refused many times because of where I am from. I had few options left.
Cristina, popa. ¡Popa! Cristina no puede encontrar ningún trabajo decente porque es inmigrante. Ok.
I'm sure you could have found another job, perhaps less lucrative. Maybe you should try again.
And when exactly was the last time you looked for a job? Or worried about the rent, or what, or when you were going to eat?
Ok, tranquila.
Do you need any assistance, Miss Popper?
It depends on the price of your medicine.
Oh, no tengo medicamento para la fatiga, así que...
I will see you. Goodbye, miss.
No, no le pregunte por Dorothy Crane. Nos conviene saber más.
Change your mind.
Estoy buscando a la enfermera Dorothy
Do you
Crane.
know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? Anything you can tell me about her would be helpful.
I don't know her, but I know her name is Dorothea Crasionescu. She came from Romania like me and many others.
You seem to respect her.
Dorothea helps the sick people of Whitechapel. Everyone should respect that.
Perfecto. Muchas gracias.
Goodbye.
Adiós.
Good.
No, no quería
Goodbye.
hablar con ella. Ah, mira, allá hay alguien.
Forgive my interruption.
Do not apologize, my son. Father Tobias Whitaker is always happy to teach mortals about the incoming Armageddon.
I am Dr. Jonathan Reed, and I just have a few questions.
A scientist? You are much more lost than I thought, my son.
Su vida en Londres. Estoy más perdido de lo que pensaba.
What do you mean when you say that I am more lost than you thought?
All scientists are entangled in a world of causes and consequences, and most of them can't see the plain truth.
Quite a judgmental opinion, if you ask me. But what do I know? Blinded by science as I am.
But you are seeking answers, aren't you? Answers about the Armageddon about to strike the city. Answers about the hidden truth.
Solo creo en los
I am.
hechos.
But the answers I seek are based on facts, not superstition.
A ver, vamos a ver.
What do you...
All
Quite a...
but you
Lo escucho.
Well, I suppose I can spare a few minutes listening to your so-called truth.
As a doctor, you must be aware of the decimating epidemic. But let me tell you that this so-called Spanish flu is just the beginning of the end.
What do you mean?
The beast is finally revealing itself, corrupting the flesh and the heart of men. With my own eyes I have seen them, those minions from the abyss.
¿Cuál es su plan?
Really? And what would be your answer to this biblical threat?
We must fight the disease before this legion outnumbers us. But not with scalpels and microscopes. No.
What is left then?
Cleansing fire.
Padre Tobias Care. Tobias quiere acabar con la epidemia por medio del fuego. Hijo de su puta madre, boludo. Está más loco que yo. Y yo estoy loco. ¿Cómo purificará esta ciudad exactamente?
Tell me, Tobias, what exactly is your plan concerning the cleansing of this city?
God will recognize his own. More than once this city has risen from the ashes, hardened and purified by the flames.
Fire is just the instinctive answer of a caveman facing something he does not understand. This is the 20th century.
Your lack of faith is predictable. But my task is to convince rational minds like yours to see the light. This is God's will.
You're mad and dangerous. You're nothing but a soulless butcher. A small-time Torquemada. the Savonarola of Whitechapel.
My son, if you think salvation is a free gift, go listen to the lies of that pompous fool, Joseph.
Joseph, a fool?
Vicar Larrabee of St. Mary's Church. While he continues preaching his fraudulent redemption, more and more people die in the streets.
Todavía cree que el párroco Joseph Larrabee de la iglesia de St. Mary predica una falsa fe. Este chabón está más loco. Vamos a hacer algo, a ver. Lo escucho. He escuchado suficiente.
I have heard enough. Goodbye.
Ok, sí.
Good evening.
Listo. Preguntas personales. ¿Le queda algún familiar?
Have you any friends? Any family left in these terrible times?
No. But I have a disciple I see as my son. He is so devoted. I send him to preach the good word in the heart of this corrupted city.
¿Dónde lo envió?
Where did you send him?
I sent Samuel to the Stonebridge Cemetery, where the pestilence and evil grows night after night.
¿Lo envió en una especie de cruzada de sermones?
You sent him on some preaching crusade during the epidemic.
As a true believer, Samuel will fear no evil while he walks through the valley of the shadow of death.
Este padre está más loco de lo que yo pensaba. Estoy buscando a la enfermera Dorothy
Crane from the Pembroke Hospital. I'd like to know more about her.
I don't like the liberal ideas of nurses, but I especially abhor that nurse Crane you mentioned.
¿No le agradan las enfermeras?
So you're not exactly a fan of Florence Nightingale's work. But nurses are essential for modern healthcare.
Nuns should be the only women allowed to take care of male patients. It's obvious only they have the necessary moral fiber.
¿Por qué odia a la enfermera Crane?
Why do you hate Nurse Crane more than other nurses?
Before coming to London, she was a member of the communist resistance in her country. That's what happens when you let a woman get involved in politics.
Era una rebelde clandestina en su tierra natal, Dorothy. Adiós, viejo decrépito, inútil y... Joe, Cristina Popa... Un segundo.
Pay me a glass and I'll be gentle. Pay me a bottle and I'll be
Y compra de transmisión, seguimos. A ver, vamos a ver qué hay por acá. Ah, es prácticamente el mismo lugar. A ver, Benjamin. ¿No hay nadie más? ¿En serio? Allá hay una persona. Peter, no sé qué. Petriscu, no sé qué. A ver, por acá. Allá hay alguien. Ya, a la mierda. Let's go. Bien. What? Genial, tengo un puto lobo gigante enfrente. ¿Qué hace? ¿Qué hace este lobo acá? Muestra de sangre robusta diluida. Perfecto, pero... Diablos. Todo esto. Perfecto. ¡Qué mierda, carajo! ¿Pero qué mierda pasó aquí?
This could be the box Lewis thought he lost.
Caja pequeña, Barrett. No hay manera más difícil de decírtelo, así que seré directo. No podremos seguir así, al menos ya no puedo. Si Joe se lleva a enterar de que lo que estamos haciendo a su esposa y su mejor amigo lo destruirán. Y luego lo matará. Pasamos buenos momentos, pero debemos asumir la realidad. Jamás seré su Jane Lewis. Usted lo sabe y yo también. Entonces le pondré fin a esto. Aquí y ahora. Si acepta mi decisión, estoy segura de que con el tiempo, usted y yo encontraremos una manera de ser felices nuevamente. Y además, habremos preservado la parte más importante de nuestra historia hasta este día. Espero que logre perdonarme. Adiós por ahora. Jane Peterson.
A love letter from
Barrett. Barrett tuvo un amorío con la esposa de Joe Peterson. Joe Peterson es este, ¿verdad? Sí. La concha, la luna.
Peterson's wife addressed to Barrett Lewis. Who should I give it to, I wonder?
Oh, la pregunta de ¿a quién debería entregársela? Oh, hacha usada. Vamos a matar a estos Skulls. Concha su hermana. ¿Saltan los dos? ¿En serio? Genial, nos vemos a la mierda. Necesito sangre para curarme. Oh, hay algo aquí. Nice. Oh, hay algo ahí. Acá. Dale, boludo, agárralo. Ok, si aprieto la B no creo que lo agarre. ¿Qué hay por aquí? Una entrada a Whitechapel. Sí, parece que sí. Pero por acá, ¿qué hay? Necesito encontrar a las personas que faltan. Pues vamos a hablar con este hombre.
What do you want? Leave me alone.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I'm looking for Nurse Dorothy Crane.
There is no Dorothy Crane here. Now goodbye.
I'm afraid this medical leaflet says the opposite, sir.
Really? Well, I'm afraid I'm going to close this door right now. Go bother someone else, Mr. Doctor.
To enter that house, I must discover who this man really is. Maybe I could start by observing what he's up to.
Dario Petrescu. No sabemos nada de él. Pero está acá. Con otros dos. Me faltarían 3.
A strange man was at the door with a pass for our medical facility. I refused him entry.
Darius, how could you know he didn't need our help?
His clothes were too finely tailored to be for Whitechapel.
Perhaps just a friend of that stray poet who is always about.
Richard Nethercott? No, not of the same cloth, this man. I suspect some machination from that journalist.
Clayton Darby. Is he still asking questions?
Yes. I saw him drifting around St. Mary's Church. I swear he is tracking me just downwind.
Dario Petrescu. Dario, la mano derecha de Dorothy Crane. ¿Tenemos algo más, verdad? No por ahora.
Must talk to that journalist or the poet. They must know about Darius. Nearby the church they just mentioned.
Estoy comiendo papa frita por si... No, acá hay un desconocido, a ver.
Excuse me, sir. Are you familiar with this part of town? Name's Clayton Darby, reporter.
Sorry, I'm new to Whitechapel. But perhaps you could help me since you're a journalist. My name is Jonathan Reed.
Dr. Reed, the famous surgeon. I'll gladly help if I'm able, sir.
Su investigación en Londres. ¿Ningún diario habla sobre la epidemia?
Newspapers keeping silent about the Spanish influenza. It's as though none of you care.
There's a war going on. People shouldn't be demoralized by news of deadly diseases.
Es lógico.
I served in France. Our top priority must be to put an end to this butchery. This war must stop now.
Sir, streets are a battlefield too. An invisible and untold war is going on, and it must be stopped.
¿Qué haces aquí después de la puesta del sol?
What is a journalist doing in this borough after sunset?
He goes where none of his colleagues would dare to go, to inform the country.
¿Arriesga su vida para revelar la verdad?
So you risk your life to reveal the truth. I saw many reporters do the same during the war.
Whitechapel is the crucible of so many untold stories and tragedies. I want people to know them.
Clayton Derby. Clayton quiere que los diarios publiquen la verdad sobre la situación de Whitechapel. ¿Le interesa al público?
That's quite honorable of you. But is the public interested?
Not at all, sir. And that's why I'm an independent journalist, hoping to sell some stories.
¿No tiene miedo a salir de noche?
Have you any idea of the danger you face in these streets at night?
I've had to run and hide more than once from frenzied mobs incensed by the fever. Do you think the flu is really responsible for this, Doctor?
No es una simple
I'm
epidemia.
convinced there is more at work here than a simple epidemic.
Really? To be honest, I could say the same. Some of the sick I saw or heard of. My God, what happened to them?
Aquí no hay trabajo para inmigrantes por aquí.
Christina Popper claims she sells her body because she can't find any other work. Do you believe her?
Of course I do. Her story is exactly what I want my readers to understand. We live in an intolerant and divided nation.
Do you think things will ever change, Mr. Darby?
I believe the situation can only improve. And now that women can vote, I'm convinced things will change.
Perfecto. Preguntas personales. No preguntas personales. He dicho. Acerca del dispensario médico clandestino.
I heard you're investigating an underground medical dispensary in Whitechapel. What do you know about it?
Not much, I'm afraid. They are wary of strangers, and I'm not really an acquaintance of theirs. Why do you care?
Me preocupa la salud pública.
I'm a doctor, Mr. Darby. I care about everything involving public health and this epidemic.
Are you sure you're not just concerned about the repercussions that a scandal involving a certain Nurse Crane from the Pembroke Hospital would bring?
Without a doubt, you are a damn fine journalist, Mr. Darby. What do you know of her accomplice, a man named Darius?
I don't know much about the man. He's very cautious, never goes out, doesn't seem to have any friends or family.
¿No tiene parientes?
He has no relatives at all?
No, except for that strange man, a poet named Richard Nethercott, who sometimes comes by. Darius would never let him in.
Where can I find this Mr. Nethercott?
He spends most of his time lurking around Whitechapel, talking to himself or declaring verses. These days, you can usually find him behind the church.
Gracias. ¿Jamás sale?
He never goes out?
No. A few days ago, he unexpectedly did. I followed him, but it was just a ruse to keep me away from his house.
Really? How do you know?
He went to the nearest mailbox, but just before posting his letter, he ripped it up and threw it away.
Pues bueno, adiós, señor.
Goodbye, Mr. Darby. Farewell.
Quiero, no sé cuántos minutos llevamos porque se me... El puto cronómetro se paró. Vamos a algo, voy a terminar estas dos charlas. A ver si se puede hacer algo ahí arriba. Voy a hablar con esta chica. Antes que nada.
Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reed. I'd like to ask you a few questions. I know what you're thinking. A tall stranger who meets a girl in the street at night. It reeks of the penny dreadfuls. But I mean you no harm, truly.
Es muda.
I know you understand what I'm saying. Your silence has nothing to do with you being mute, does it? You don't seem to need my medical attention for now. Very well.
Pues adiós. Camelia. Saludable. Ok. Mis amados hijos, lamento mucho no haberles escrito estos últimos meses. La situación en Londres ha sido difícil. Sé que no puedo sonar egoísta y tanto como ustedes, hijos míos aún viven en un país consumido por la guerra, pero también hay una guerra aquí en Inglaterra, una guerra contra la pobreza y la injusticia. Esta es una guerra en la que tengo la intención de participar. Pese a mi avanzada edad, por eso les escribo, no volveré a Rumania. Esto probablemente significa que no volveré a verlos antes de morir. No estén tristes, queridos míos. Ya han crecido y tienen hijos propios, saben del sacrificio que a veces debemos aceptar para hacer del mundo un lugar mejor. Este es el que yo debo hacer ahora para sentirme útil una vez más. Les deseo una larga y feliz vida. Besen a mis nietos de mi parte y recuerden que el amor de su padre trasciende incluso la distancia hasta el querido país. Como siempre, su padre los ama. Darius Petrescu. Oh, mierda. Hay algo de Darius, a ver. ¿Dónde está? Darius, acá. Darius no quiere ver más a sus hijos para no ser una carga para ellos.
I cannot enter.
No sabré de qué lado. A ver, de este. De este lado sí se abre. Era el otro costado. Mierda. Ven aquí, que necesito sangre. Aunque a ver, quiero ver algo. Pero lo cierto es que acá hay cadáveres. Hay un cadáver acá. Cuarentena. A ver, vamos a hablar con este.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I would like to ask you a few questions.
Please be my guest. Although I may not be the best informant regarding this part of town, my words speak about that which the eyes cannot see.
Really? Are you an artist of some kind?
I'm a poet, sir. Richard Nethercott, at your service.
Su vida en Londres. ¿Qué hace aquí por la noche?
May I ask what you're doing at this hour of night, sir? Do you live here?
Not at all. I'm just enjoying the pleasure of a quiet walk. Though night talks are always preferable, if you ask me. Especially with strangers.
¿No le teme a la epidemia?
But are you not afraid of the epidemic?
Oh, why should I? I see some equity in the Spanish flu. No flesh should be saved, say the scriptures. Good or evil, rich or poor, all are equal in the eyes of the flu.
Debería evitar la exposición.
If you say so. But as a physician in a time of epidemic, I must caution you to avoid unnecessary exposure, sir.
Thank you, Doctor. But we both know the seeker of truth has to go boldly where the weak dare not.
Su vida podría estar en peligro aquí.
Are you aware that your life could be in danger in this part of town?
But this is where I must be to feel the real beat of the city. I had to come, see it for myself, alone.
I understand your need for solitude, but it's not safe around here.
I don't care. I don't have many friends, Doctor, and my family despises me.
¿Quién ayudará si está en peligro?
If some misfortune came upon you, who would be here to help you?
Well, you for a start, my dear Doctor.
Buen punto, la verdad.
What are your thoughts on the terrible situation in this city?
Terrible, you say? No. Of course, the death of so many innocents is a tragedy. But the scourge has not been all bad for the city. Oh, no, sir.
What are you talking about?
Do you remember London before the flu? Noisy, cacophonic, quiet nowhere to be found. And now, listen to this oddly peaceful silence.
Es un punto de vista bastante particular, la verdad que sí.
Yes. The enjoyable silence of the grave. You have a unique perspective on the situation, I must admit.
Most people fail to understand my perspective. I don't blame them. But how could I call myself a poet if I veiled my feelings?
Preguntas personales. Tenemos una. ¿Por qué busca impresión de Whitechapel?
Tell me, Mr. Nethercott, why seek inspiration in Whitechapel?
The place is not beautiful per se, but how to explain it? Stirring and challenging.
¿No lo considera un poco morboso?
Do you not think it a little morbid?
On the contrary, sir. Whitechapel is full of life, full of beauty. Just like my dear muse, the wonderful Camellia.
What can you tell me about Camellia?
Not much. And that's the beauty of it. She can't speak, you know. She's a locked mystery who exhales kindness and sweetness.
Jamula es como una musa para Richard Nethercott, quien la ve como un misterio encerrado. Dime descubrir la verdad sobre ella.
Perhaps you're just afraid to find.
Hay algo más, ¿no? Richard ver cabría como se usa y... Ok, sí.
The truth about your muse.
One day, perhaps, I'll ask her to come with me. But will she still be my wild flower of Whitechapel if she moves uptown?
¿No la conoce?
And have you ever tried to learn more about her? Where she lives? How she survives? Whom she may know?
Maybe I prefer she remains an enigma. Reality can be so dull, don't you think?
¿Tiene ejemplos?
In what way, exactly?
The struggle by gaslight, the barren smiles and the arid hunger under the rain.
If you say so.
Such vibrant antagonism and vivid paradox. The stripped humanity raged across each street.
Vivid, of course, yes. And what about the poignant distress?
Oh yes, the poignant distress. You see what I mean, don't you? That's what I want to write about, and that's what Whitechapel is made of.
Ok, está loco. Yo con la enfermera Dorothy,
May I
creo.
ask you a few questions about the district?
Extraordinary part of town, is it not? I'll be glad to help you, if I can.
I'm looking for Dorothy Crane, a nurse who lives in this vicinity.
Dorothy Crane. Oh, I love the name. The Crane of Whitechapel. Sounds very mysterious. But, sorry, no, never heard of her.
What can you tell me about an old man called Darius?
Darius Petrescu? Yes, I know him. At first, I thought he was only a small publisher. I invited him to publish my work, but his reaction was pretty clear.
Not interested in your talent?
Darius is an old political activist who takes delight in printing tracts and lampoons. Those communist activities only require mediocre writing skills.
Darion X es un exactivista político rumano. Bueno, muchas gracias, nos vemos.
I'll leave. Darius is a bit less of a mystery now. It should not be that difficult to incite him to let me in.
Era por acá. Conozco a todos, ¿verdad? Ahora, ok, me falta ver. Me faltan 3. Está ahí arriba. A ver, quiero ver si puedo ir allá arriba. No, mira, a ver qué hay acá. Muertos dentro. What the fuck? ¿No tenía para preparar cosas? No llevo una de estas y no tengo para nada más. A ver qué hay afuera. Oh, genial, ok. Pero bueno, gente, lo vamos a dejar por aquí porque no tengo ni idea del tiempo. Quizás nos pasamos casi media hora, puede ser, no sé. Pero nos vemos en la siguiente. Bye bye.